Oh, hello, this is Sean Oveen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about phobias. Everybody has some. Some people are afraid of snakes. Some people are afraid of darkness. Some people maybe deep water. And mine happened to be public speaking. Actually, one of my phobias. I have a couple more. And more than that, 1,000 times more than that is public singing. So, by the way, I don't speak as fast as most YouTubers. They all talk so fast, like somebody's chasing them. They want to get in as many words as they can in 5 seconds. Anyway, I'm going to be talking my pace, my normal pace, and tell you a story that most probably you've never heard before. So you have to stick around until the end to so you know what happened to me with my public singing, you know, journey. Uh, I basically it started when I was 16. I was 16 and fearless. Just started playing the drums, and with my brother who played the keyboard, we started a small band. And at our first gig, we had a big party, and so we played for the audience, for our friends. And I just started singing. So I picked a song called Hanky Panky, which was very popular back in the 60s. And when we finished, our set came down from the stage and talked to my cousins. One of my cousins actually walked up and told me that, he said, "How long have you been playing?" I said, "About 6, 7 months." He said, "Really, really good. Great job." And then he asked me, "How long have I been singing?" And I said, "Well, I just started singing. This was my first song." And he looked me in the eyes and said, "Please don't ever sing. Stick to your drumming." Oh man, I felt so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed and ashamed. I didn't want to even get back on the stage to do the second set. I was, I can't tell you, devastated basically. And so anyway, that started my phobia from that point. I never ever opened my mouth again in public and even private. I began to hate my own voice. And anytime I heard my voice, recorded voice, I just couldn't stand it. So for years and years and years, even though I always played music, all the years from when I was 9, I've always been involved in music somehow. Sometimes I took a break, sometimes for years, but always came back to it. And I played on stage many, many times. But as a drummer, I was kind of shielded, protected by my drum set because I had a huge drum set. So it was my security blanket, whatever you want to call it. And so I wasn't that shy when I played drums. But singing was totally off the table for life. And because, in later years, what we started a very serious band, actually, that, we made it all the way to, the point where we had big offers and covers of magazines, hundreds of articles. So, but at that point, I had an opportunity to sing a song that actually I executive produced, but I couldn't open my mouth. So basically, and my ex-wife was not very supportive either because she was a very good singer and she wanted her to be star of the show. So that didn't work out either. So even though I started singing again in my studio by myself, and I played the recordings for other people, and they gave me compliments, but I just was not able to ever publicly do anything. Fast forward to, um, 2 years ago. My fiance Monica was heard my one of my songs, even though she didn't even know I sang, because I didn't even talk about it. And she liked it a lot, and she asked me to, uh, sing for other people. She said that everybody has to hear you. You good, this and that. And I always thought that she was just saying that because she was my fiance. So what is she going to say, that I sound, I suck? But anyway, I didn't open my mouth until one night. One of my friends, who always believed that I had a good voice, asked me to sing for his birthday, and I said no. I can't do it. I mean, I haven't done it in almost 70 years. I'm not going to do it now. So, but something, because I was practicing, in private, just singing for myself. Um, I decided to give it a shot and sing a song. And he announced it at his birthday party. There were a bunch of people there. He announced it, and he said, "Shahid's going to sing for us tonight for the first time at my birthday." So that put more pressure on me. I felt, now I got to do it. I'm on the spot. Anyway, I just, went behind the microphone, and I wanted, as soon as I opened my mouth, to sing the very first line. Um, guess what happened? You're never going to guess. My front tooth cap just popped right out of my mouth. And I put my hand in front of my mouth, and I was horrified, devastated. I don't know how to describe how bad that made me feel. To look ugly like that in front of everybody when I'm singing, starting my singing journey. And that was just unbelievably scary for me. So I was searching, trying to find the cap so I could put it back on and at least, look decent. I couldn't find it, so it was all wired on the floor. So, but I don't know, 10 minutes, it seemed like a lifetime, looking for the cap. That's such a small thing. And everybody kept asking me, "What are you looking for?" And I couldn't tell them. So I kept saying, "Leave me alone. I'm not ready to sing." So anyway, I finally found it. I don't know. I got lucky or something. I touched it and I picked it up. I went to the restroom and I tried to put it back on. So at least I looked decent, but I couldn't find the right position. And then when I finally figured out how to do it, it dawned on me that, wow, now it's going to pop again. What is it going to? What's going to stop it from, popping right back out? But anyway, I had all these thoughts, negative. I wanted to run out of the party and just looking for the exit. I had so many negative thoughts, and it was just a chaos in my head. But something inside of me was driving me to do it, to break this, fear. And anyway, I forced myself against every cell of my body that wanted to just get the hell out of that place. I picked up the microphone and I started singing. And I turned my back at the beginning because I wasn't sure if it was going to, fall out again or not. So I, after like halfway through the song, I turned around and looked at people, and I saw their faces showed positive reaction. I kind of felt they liked it, and a few of them went like this or like that. So I gained a lot of confidence all of a sudden. So I started singing better, and it was crazy. All of a sudden, the fear was gone, even though I had this excitement and this energy that was going on inside of me. But I felt like, oh, I'm not as bad as I thought. So I sang the song through, and everybody, cheered and they clapped for me and applauded me, and they asked for more song. So since I'm already practicing before this party, I was kind of ready, but I just didn't have the guts to open my mouth. Then I sang another song. They wanted one more, so I sang seven songs when I had no plan to even sing one line. Anyway, that night turned out to be one of the, very memorable nights of my life because I broke through a fear. I broke through an impossibility. To me, it was impossible for me to sing. If you put a gun to my head, I couldn't sing. That's how strong that phobia was. And the fact that I conquered it. On the way home, I was just feeling so good. I was on cloud nine. I felt beyond imagination. I felt so good. So, and actually, that rush of energy lasted the entire week. Every time I thought about the moment that people were telling me that I sound like this big artist, or my voice is so unique, or it was like silk, this and that, all the compliments were just popping back up and creating more energy for myself. And then next thing I knew, I was invited to another party, people that heard me sing. So another party. And right before I went on stage again, I was having the same excitement and fear and thinking, oh, I did good last time. I'm going to screw up this time and screw up my good memory of this experience. But I had to power through everything that, is worth accomplishing. You need to be pushing forward and not letting your negative thoughts stop you. That's the message of. That's the reason I'm talking about this, is because I did it by controlling my thoughts, by fighting the negative thoughts. Even though almost every thought that was coming up was something negative, but that power inside of me, that observer that is watching this whole charade, was telling me, you go do it. You did it. You can do it again. And I just blocked all the thoughts and went behind the microphone, picked it up, started singing. I didn't want to just give myself time to worry more, or get talked out of it with my, thoughts that were going on in my head. So I did decent. Again, I got pretty good, comments and awesome feeling. So party after party, I was invited. So I think I played around 15 times in front of people, and the fear is gone. Even though the excitement still comes, they still have the negative thoughts that come to my head, telling me, "What if you screw up this time?" Actually, I heard the singers like Tom Jones and Elvis, before they stepped on stage, they had the same kind of feeling, uh, worrying if they could, somehow tarnish their reputation by screwing up that particular evening. So, in any sports, in any endeavor, in any situation where you need to do something powerful or out of your comfort zone, you are going to have those negative thoughts, basically attacking you and pushing you uh, not to do it. It takes guts and energy to push beyond that comfort zone. And that's something I learned through years and years of whatever practice, experience, whatever you want to call it. I do have that in me to push myself to do something that all my existence and past experience, everything tells me I should not be doing it for example, skiing on top of the mountains where one side is like 2,000 feet drop and the other side is another, God, 800, and skiing on a ledge. One wrong move and I would be, you know, crippled or something, because if I fell down, it would be all the way down 1,000 feet. But I wasn't, but I was focused. If you ask any athlete, whether skier or I don't know, tennis or any other sport that you can think of, a quarterback, they know how to focus. They know how to focus and get the job done, because you become in a present moment. You get rid of all your negative thoughts and all your positive, I'm sorry, of the past and the worriness of the future. And you stay in the present moment. And that's where magic happens. That's why there are thrill seekers that walk wires, like this guy that I saw the other day. He walked 3.5, basically equal to 2 miles, 2 miles from Italy mainland to Sicily Island over a wire, uh, over the ocean. It took him 3.5 hours, and he was master of focus, laser focus. He wasn't thinking about paying his bills or what if I fall. No, he was focused on getting it done and was able to get rid of all these negative thoughts. So it is possible for everybody to do that. You need to do that in everyday life. Control your thoughts, manage them, understand that they're not you, and whatever they say is not the reality. If they say, well, this guy is a jerk, this guy is, I don't know, a prophet, these are just suggestions that your subconscious mind is throwing up. It's up to you to decide which way to go. That's the power of like the free will. You decide that as human being, I think our biggest mission is to be able to realize that our thoughts are not our reality unless we make them our reality by putting focus on them. And I talk about this a lot. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm your guy. If you don't, then maybe I could change something in the way you think about it. Because what I'm saying is, I'm so 110% sure it is good and it's true and it can benefit you. If you only learn to control your thoughts, when you make a decision to do something, don't let any of these thoughts that will try to stop you. Your mind wants, like a river, the easiest way does not want discipline. Your mind doesn't want to be disciplined. Uh, it's your job as the conscious being behind the charade, watching that. That's where your wisdom comes to decide. For a criminal, a serial killer, he gives in to the negative and evil thoughts and commits the most horrific crimes because he is a slave to his thoughts and he has evil thoughts, and then he commits evil acts. So, if there's one message I want to give you and anybody else that crosses path with me, I always talk about this, that there's a giant within me. When I focus, when I make a decision, I do anything to make it happen. And I fall a lot. I make more mistakes than anybody else. But one thing about me is that gets things done is my persistence. My persistence and my belief in myself. Since I was a little kid, I felt like I could do anything. I failed, as I said, more than anybody I know. And but when I was a kid, I remember my cousin or one of our relatives asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I couldn't think of anything bigger than I want to be the king of the world. That's what I said. And later on, decades later, I saw that in Titanic, the movie, and that he went like this and said, "I'm the king of the world." So that reminded me of my childhood statement. So I did have confidence from a little kid, but I was shy and, you know, just a normal kid, nothing special, no genius or nothing like that. Just a little kid with a lot of dreams and very positive that I could figure out in my lifetime what God is, what's going on with the universe, and all that stuff. So going back to the singing situation, after the 10, 15 times that I sang, one day my fiance, Monica, that I love a lot, she's total support, making this happen for me because she's always behind me. She always believes in me, which I appreciate a lot. She told me that she registered me for America's Got Talent. And I said, "What? There is no way on earth." I know I did sing for friends, but I'm not going to go in front of the judges of the biggest competition on the planet. No way I can do that. And I had again all these, anxiety and anticipation of screwing up in front of, on a global stage, basically. It was scary. I said no, but I did the same thing. Every time the thought came, because I knew a month and a half in advance that the audition was coming up. So I did not want to go through that excitement every day. So I would just tell my mind like a child. Subconscious doesn't think. It reacts based on programming. So I would tell my subconscious mind, just leave me alone today and I'll deal with it another day. So one day at a time, I reduced the worriness of anticipation until the day came and it was on Zoom. So there was a little comfort there. But when I wanted to sing, they told me I could not use music, I couldn't use my lyrics. And by the way, I do have some issues with my memory, so I cannot memorize lyrics. And if I do, as soon as there's a little excitement or distraction, I forget. So that was again another horrific thing. Me singing in front of these judges with no music and no lyrics. Again, I had a battle to fight. The battle within me, and walking around the house the day of the event, back and forth, keep saying, "I can't do it. I'm not going to do it." And the time came. And Monica already set up the computer and got it ready. So I just went over there and started singing "Fly Me to the Moon," Frank Sinatra. And it was finished, and one of the judges said, we'll let you know. Thank you very much. So no compliments, no nothing. So I thought, see, I screwed up. So that part of me jumped in and said, "Oh, see, you screwed up. You shouldn't have done it." Da, 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 da. And then I had to deal with those kind of thoughts for a few days and even beyond. And then out of nowhere, a month and a half later, we got an email from AGT that they want to see me audition in person in Pasadena. And so I was happy that I wasn't rejected and I was invited to go there. So I passed the first audition. So I had these good feelings and this fear. Oh, now I got to go to do it live. Um, and listen to this, the day that we wanted to go, it was on a Sunday. and it was pouring rain. Southern California, there's not much rain in Southern California, but that day was like the sky opened and the ocean came down. It was so hard that the windshield wiper could not take care of this. And it was you could hardly see 20 feet ahead. It was so hard. The rain was so hard. So we had to drive like 60 miles to get to Pasadena. No parking, thousands of people. This excitement. I every second on every minute I was thinking of saying to Monica, "Let's go home. Let's go home. This is not working out. This is too much distraction. I can't handle it." But again, there were thoughts. I chose to fight them again, and one foot in front of another to get to the building. And we got to the building all wet and everything, and got this huge hall, and everybody singing or doing the aerobics, whatever. They were getting ready for their auditions, so that was added, anxiety, and I'm competing with all the best. Oh man, I don't belong here. I'm not the best, but again, pushing every moment, just one moment at a time, dealing with this thing to conquer another huge challenge. And as I was getting ready and my name was called, they took my fiance from that building to another building. That's what we were told, that everybody was moved to another building, and I didn't know which building. So that added another stress, and phones didn't work, so I could not contact her. So the reason I'm explaining all these details is for you to know what was going on in my head. I had this situation. I had all these distractions, and then they called me. I got to go into this big room with the judges and contestants that are waiting, to perform. So that was couldn't be more intimidating. And they told me no music, no lyrics. So I got to go stand right there, and I never sing without my music and lyrics in front of me. Never, even to myself sometimes. So I always want the music to inspire me, and the lyrics, so I don't need to worry about forgetting the lyrics, so I can deliver the emotion. And by the way, if you like to know how I sing, I put up a song on my channel, because I thought, even though it's not related to the niche and the subjects that I usually cover, but I thought it's good because I'm going to be talking about this, and the message is how to deal with your mind and thoughts and your phobia. If you have one like me, maybe you can relate to what I went through. So that song is on there. If someone wants to know how does this guy really sing. Anyway, that's the reason for that. So going back to the AGT thing, as soon as we all entered, we all had numbers, IDs, and everything. Judges were ready, and as we were sitting down, I thought, "Oh, I'm going to hear the first, a few of the contestants." So, kind of that helped me calm down a little bit and relax. But before I had a chance to sit down, they called my name, Shawnaveen. I stood here. I'm here. I walked right over there. But because I know how my mind works, if I gave it any time, it would screw me up. That you're going to forget the lyrics. You're going to forget the lyrics. And it's like my enemy is sitting inside my head, not my friend. The only time that can become your ally is when you have control over it, and that you can use it when you need to, and don't be slave to that. So I walked over there. Immediately I started, fly me to the moon, like that, and closed my eyes. And I finished, and I heard clapping. Oh man, they're clapping for me. the judges. I opened my eyes and I couldn't believe it. And I asked immediately, I asked the judges, I said, how was my audition? How did you like it? One of them said it was very, very good. And I said, well, I could sing better than that with lyrics and music. This was very intimidating, the situation. And he said, well, you can send me, email me. So he gave me his email to actually send him a copy of my song with music. Anyway, they put me through the final pool, where a couple of hundred, I don't know exactly how many were that, because 100,000 people participated in this competition. So to get to that final 500, I don't know how many actually were pushed into the final thing that were chosen by the judges. Um, and I wasn't one of those. So I was not chosen to go on in front of Simon Cowell. But I made it so close. To me, the fact that even one judge like me was unbelievable, because those guys are looking for the best, and they're not like your friends to just tell you you're good because they don't want to hurt your feeling. So I walked out of there with so much confidence, and even though it was raining like hell, this time I didn't care. I made it through two set of judges of America's Got Talent, biggest competition. So that really, really was a big accomplishment for me. I didn't win anything, but I won inside. Inside of me, I won because I beat the biggest phobia of my life. You guys have no idea. You have no idea that how difficult that was for me to break through. And I've done things like this, which I can cover in the future videos.